I'm Katie Wells, host of the Maximized Minimalist podcast. I escaped the hamster wheel of modern-day motherhood, overwhelmed by clutter and buried under the mental load. Now I live in a home that feels calm, manageable, and made for real life. I have margin in my days, energy for who matters most, and time for slow mornings and silly dance parties in the kitchen with my family. With over 5 million listens, the show has helped women around the world turn their homes into their happy place. Around here, we simplify for more peace, more presence, and more joy. We choose grace over guilt and progress over perfection. And we believe your home should give back more than it takes. I'm here to help you do the same. Come along with me and my guests as we share the real stories, habits, and strategies that help you lighten the load from the inside out. Pull up a seat, friend, and let's do this together. Ready, set, simplify. Tell me if this sounds familiar. You set out to tackle your wardrobe, finally, and somehow you end up working in your kitchen junk drawer, then your living room, then the toy area, and then the spice cabinet. And you're like, whoa, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just stay focused and keep working on my wardrobe? If you've ever experienced this episode is for you, because sometimes switching spaces, yes, it is momentum. And sometimes it's avoidance wearing a productivity hat. And if you can't tell the difference in the moment, you'll keep doing a lot without getting to the decisions that really deeply change your home. So today I'm so excited because I'm going to give you a really simple framework to know what to do next, when to stay in a space, when to switch, and when you're done enough for now. And by the way, I learned this the hard way. Don't I always? Years ago, I used to think the right way to declutter was to pick one space, finish it until it is beautiful and like you walk into it and you hear like angels sing. And I was like, capsule wardrobe, here I come. And I was like, I'm not going to leave until it's done. We've all heard this, right? And I think in theory, yes, it sounds good, but in real life, it looked like me standing in my closet, maybe getting 5 minutes in, the baby waking up from his nap, or I'd get overwhelmed. I'd walk out and I'd be like, my brain is like, let's tackle something easier. Like expired spices sounds like a win. And I was like, yes, please, get me out of here. Get me out of my chaotic closet. And I would tell myself, well, Katie, it's okay because, I'm still decluttering. The needle is still moving, so to speak. And technically I was, and technically it was. But I was also doing the decluttering version of checking my email instead of writing the thing that actually matters. Now, if you're someone who loves the easy wins, the quick sweeps, the tossing 10 things and feeling amazing, by the way, I think we all do. I'm not here to take that away from you. These are important. They have their place. Absolutely. Yes, 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 and yes, and yes. Round one is powerful. But if you keep restarting in new areas and never get to the deeper layers of clutter, this is where we need a plan in place. And someone sent in a question that really puts words to what I just described. She said, my biggest challenge right now is staying focused and going deeper in one area, like my closet, versus going around to these other areas and doing the initial kind of round one quick sweeps. And let's answer that in a way that's really going to help you this week, because again, you do need both. So there are really two types of progress, and the goal is to use them on purpose intentionally. So the first, we'll call it momentum progress. This is what we just talked about. The round one, phase one, quick wins, visible progress, tackling that surface area clutter. Checklists are so great here. It's going to change how your home feels fast. This is tackling superficial clutter. If you read my book, Making Home Your Happy Place, there is a dedicated chapter on all 4 clutter types. This is superficial clutter, what we're talking about. So important to start here. And why? Because we never want to start with the deeper layers that take a little more nuance and can take different tools from our tool belt, so to speak. Okay. Then most people stop. They're like, okay, I feel better. I feel good. And I'm still being productive. And they skip the second type of progress, which is really depth progress. This is where you make decisions that really change your home for the long term. This is when you stop reshuffling and You've tackled the easy stuff, so to speak, and you really start questioning beliefs, questioning habits, challenging stories, reassigning meaning. Like it goes deeper, right? The mistake is thinking you have to pick one and stick with it though, when what you actually need is a way to know when to stay, when to switch, and how to switch without starting over. So here are a couple different tools, 3 tools you can keep in your back pocket for if or when, I should say, this happens next. Number 1. Before you leave a space for a new one, ask yourself one question. Am I switching because I'm energized or because the decisions just got harder? That's it. And by the way, no wrong answer. If you're switching because you're energized, great. That's momentum. It makes sense to hit up that spice cabinet, girl. Okay. This is going to keep you engaged. But if you're switching because it got harder, that's usually the moment you hit the deeper clutter and the stuff that makes your brain want to bail. And it might be scarcity. What if I need this later? It might be identity. This represents who I thought I would be. That might be guilt. Oh, someone gave this to me. I don't know what to do with it. So instead, I'll move to a different space. It might be sentimentality. So when you notice you're switching because it got hard, don't shame yourself. Label it. Oh, yeah, this is the hard part. Oh, yeah, I need to do something different than what I usually do. This is where our brain usually gives us some type of resistance. And here's a tiny move that keeps you from running away and tackling your spices. Pick one item, just one, and ask yourself, like, what does this feel so hard right now? And maybe if you just say, I'm going to tackle one thing today instead of this whole closet, make one decision. Keep it, don't eat it, trash it, relocate it, or figure out what's the story you're telling yourself. Right? In chapter 2 of Making Home Your Happy Place, we dive deep into that. It's nuanced. It looks different for everyone. But I can't tell you how many of you podcast listeners I've heard from, even just 2 chapters into the book. And you're like, I could literally close the book and like, I've gotten so much from this already, just uncovering my stuff story. When we uncover that, it gives us so much permission to stop just ruminating in shame and failure. And that is often, not always, but sometimes really what we need with these deeper layers. Okay, so pick one item and try to make a decision with it. If that one feels too hard, pick one more up. Here's the reality. One decision can help break that spell. Really, it can. And real quick, while we're talking about clutter and our homes not feeling as good as they should, I want to share something that has made such a big difference for our family, way more than I expected. And that is, I used to wake up sneezing and congested pretty much every single morning. This is when I started looking into air quality and discovered Air Doctor. Now, this is the only air purifier I use in my home now, and I noticed the difference within just a few days. First, I noticed the odor improved in my house because we have 2 kids, 2 cats, and we cook a lot. And that lingering smell that used to hang around is gone, which is great. Also, second, like I said, my allergies have calmed down significantly, and that's not happening anymore. And third, I'm sleeping better. And as a mom raising 2 kids in a busy world, I think I'm really grateful for the sleep part too. Let's be real, because when you're breathing cleaner air, your body can rest better at night. Here's what sets Air Doctor apart. They have a powerful 3-stage filtration that captures particles about 100 times smaller than what typical air purifiers can remove. Here's the reality. I had other air purifiers for years, but I didn't realize they weren't actually helping me until I switched to Air Doctor for this reason. We're talking dust, pollen, mold spores, nasty, pet dander, wildfire smoke, bacteria, viruses, odors, ozone, VOCs, which are off gas from furniture and cleaning products. And unlike other purifiers I had, it is so quiet. You barely know it's running. Plus, one of my favorite features about it is it has an auto mode. So if you are cooking and smoking up your house, like I often do, yes, sometimes I burn my food. What are you going to do? The Air Doctor kicks on its own. I don't have to run over and hit a button for it to ramp up, and it just does it on its own. It's so simple. There is no guesswork. And just like me, 98% of other Air Doctor customers say their homes Air feels cleaner, safer, and healthier. And they just won Newsweek's Reader's Choice Award for Best Air Purifier. So head to airdoctorpro.com and use promo code MAX to get up to $300 off today. Air Doctor comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee plus a 3-year warranty, which is an $84 value free. You can get this exclusive podcast-only offer now at airdoctorpro.com. That's airdoctorpro.com. Let's turn that into a little jingle, shall we? Make sure to use promo code MAX to get that discount. Okay, back to it. So once you know why you're switching, here's how you can keep that momentum without abandoning the deeper work. So you can use this tool, the anchor space approach. This is a strategy I want more people to use just because it's so darn realistic. And I think it also fits a lot of personality types and so much more. So simply put, pick your one space as your anchor for the deep work. So let's just keep with the closet. And then you give yourself permission to do round one sweeps in other areas as like palette cleansers in between. So here's what that can look like. Let's say you do a 25 to thrive in your closet where you're tackling some of the scarcity, sentimental, identity clutter, right? Then maybe the next day you do 10 minutes of easy wins in your office or on the kitchen counter. Then later that week, you come back to the closet to continue doing that work. This way, you know you're pacing it, it feels realistic, and your brain also understands that we're going to be taking kind of rest from this particular space, which can feel emotional, heavy, like very, very hard mental work sometimes. That's just the reality of it. And here's the thing. Sometimes other people can do 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours plus in one space and feel amazing. I was never really like that. And I think we do have to like skew it to our personality and just how our brains operate. Other people do 20 minutes and their brain is like, okay, I'm done. And that's fine too. And that's really why I designed the 25 to thrive method like I did anyway. And by the way, if you haven't heard that episode, go back to earlier in the year. I think it was early January. I did that whole episode on that. It is so fantastic. I use it all the time. And just remember that 25 minutes is still a lot. And we're also not here to win a suffering contest. We're here to make progress that sticks. So here's a rule to make this work. Anchor your space, or your anchor space needs a minimum commitment. Not huge, just real. And I think one session a week counts. And if it needs something that keeps you from endlessly kind of drifting off. So that's it. Then we head into one sneaky important thing because open loops tend to drain energy. So I want you to define done enough for now before you leave that space. So again, if you leave a space mid-declutter without defining the stopping point, our brains tend to keep carrying it around like having 27 tabs open on our computer. So before you leave your closet or your dresser, do this. Finish one small boundary. Examples could be, I finished the top 2 drawers. I filled one donation bag. I sorted shoes into keep and donate. I made a maybe pile and I'm stopping there. Then name the next step for when you return, right? When I come back, I'm going to decide on that maybe pile. It's so helpful because you're pre-deciding for your future self. Number one, you're highlighting your wins, which is important, but you're also pre-deciding for your future self what you're coming back to. That way, if let's say you are tired and exhausted the next time you come back to continue to work on your closet and your brain is like, I don't even know what day it is. I don't even know what my name is. But because you made that pre-decision already, you're like, okay, and I'm exhausted and I know I'm tackling this maybe pile, or I know I'm hitting up the donation center today. Right? That way the space is kind of paused, not abandoned, right? Big difference. So if your brain loves those round ones, those quick wins, that doesn't mean you lack focus. I just cannot stress that enough. It means you respond to visible progress, which I think is really pretty much everyone I've ever come across on this journey. And I think this is a really big strength. And it comes down to how we're wired. So we're just adding tools so you can stay in the hard part long enough to get the longer term payoff without burning out or starting over. So if you want to play and you can actually follow, do this. Number one, pick your anchor space, decide your minimum for the week. One session, 125 to thrive, I think is great. And use round one sweeps as breaks. not as your whole strategy. And every time you switch space or are tempted to switch spaces, do that gut check. Am I energized or did it just get harder? Be honest with yourself. I'm telling you, this one question can really change how you declutter. And if you want help with this, this is exactly what we do inside Clutter Cure Club. You get simple plans, real life support, and a community that gets it. And if you're someone who, like me, starts strong and then stalls when it gets hard, you are totally not alone. This is why having an anchor and having support in a community matters. It's just $19 a month. You can cancel anytime. Link is in the show notes. Go to cluttercureclub.com. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Happy springtime. I hope it's warming up wherever you are in your neck of the world. And if you catch yourself switching rooms this week, do your gut check, energized or harder. That question will tell you what you need to know. I can't wait to see you next week. Ready, set, simplify. Bye.